Hi, and welcome back to Book Bliss and Chicks. I'm Courtney, and this is Ashley. And today we're going to talk to you guys about some common acronyms, terms, genres, tropes for reading.
We do want to add a little disclaimer to our video. Just because, we don't really like some of these terms or tropes or things like that, doesn't mean that you guys don't have to. Our opinion is our own, of course. And, we don't really like any hate for those things. So if you could just be nice, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, we have our opinion, and you have yours.
Absolutely. So with that, we're going to jump right in with the first acronym. The first acronym is, or term, is binge. And binging sounds exactly what it is. It means to read everything you can find in a short amount of time, often to the exclusion of other obligations. So we have books that will binge, series that will binge, and even authors that will binge, especially S.J. Tilly and Nikki St. Crow.
Absolutely.
We love us some dirty, smutty S.J. Tilly books. So that's just what it means. If you go, read, that's just, you're just in a binge moment. That's all.
Yeah. I had a Salacious Players Club that I did that with by Sarah Kate. Binged the second book in one day, binged the whole series in like a week. So love that series.
I know. I've binged some very nice things. I'm currently on the binge of Lord of the Rings at the moment, which is really weird.
We love to see it.
Yeah.
The next one is BDSM, and this is sexual scenes or relationships involving bondage and discipline, domination and submission, and or sadism and masochism, or other forms of power exchange.
So look at that. You were just talking about the Salacious Players in the next term.
Very prevalent in that series. They have about all different types of BDSM relationships in that book.
So if that's what you're interested in, if you want to like learn a little bit more about BDSM, fuck the 50 Shades of Grey, baby. Just go right into the Salacious Players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, and there's 6 of them, and there's even a girl one. It's the last one, but whatever.
It has all different types of tropes, which we'll get into later. But yeah, it has all different types of tropes.
The next term is book boyfriend, and this is a fictional hero that you want all for yourself. I do have a bunch of book boyfriends, the first one being Azriel, and as I just learned from Courtney in a TikTok, that apparently means I can fix them all, which I do. I always think that.
Mine was Cassian, and it meant that I had good taste in men, so I'm not even mad at it.
I mean,
it did get paired with Rowan, though, so yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Mine, I understand, because I went for the big wingspan. If you're an SJM girl, you definitely know what that means.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I'm crazy. The next one, I guess, kind of goes with book boyfriend. It's cinnamon roll, and that just means that it's a hero who is straight up so sweet and possibly too good for this world. I personally have not found my own cinnamon roll. I would love to find a cinnamon roll. Just haven't found one.
Mine's Oliver Lynch from Lotus.
She freaking loves Lotus.
You'll have a cinnamon roll when you read that book.
I did
perfection.
I did want to start Still Beating as soon as I finished like the Beautiful Disaster books, and I have 2 left.
Yeah.
And they're pretty small, so I'm gonna try to like squeeze Still Beating in to my May reads.
Yeah, you should do it. 10 out of 10.
I'm excited.
10 out of 10. Speaking of Still Beating.
Oh, good lord.
The next one is there's a few, so it's CNC, which is consensual non-consent, and that's a mutual agreement between partners to be able to act as if sexual consent has been waived. The next one is NC, which is non-consensual. And then the last one is DC, which is dubcon, and it's alluded to or dubious consent. So those are really important to know the difference for sure. Going into books that have those in your trigger warnings or content warnings. So,
and speaking of content warnings and trigger warnings, that is our next acronym / terms. CW stands for content warning, and TW stands for trigger warning. So if you ever see those acronyms, it's usually followed by a very long list, sometimes pages worth, of things that may be very triggering for people. So just always be aware of what you're reading. Always look in the beginning of the books.
Yep.
Like Still Beating.
Yeah, definitely.
The Last Letter, you know what? That's a book that needs a content
I know, right?
Emotionally,
Emotionally.
we'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
We'll put you on a roller coaster, bitch.
Right.
That's something that needs a trigger warning.
The next one is Daphne, and that's a female character who has to be rescued all the time. Also, like a damsel in distress. And to go along with that is Himbo, which is a male bimbo, and that's a male character who's cute but a little dumb.
I just learned these two when we were making this list.
Yeah.
I love Daphne. It's so much better than
Yeah.
Damsel in Distress.
So much better.
And I know so many himbos out there, so, you know, I love that. I'm going to start calling people himbo, and they're not even going to know what I'm talking
Shout
about.
out to the himbos.
Unless they're watching. So stop watching. Don't be offended if I call you that, please. It just means you're cute.
Yeah.
But slow.
A little dumb.
The next one is super important. We're going to have a whole video based off of our DNF list, and DNF just stands for Did Not Finish. It is a book that you start and you really, really struggle to read to the point where you just give up. We have a bunch of DNFs on our own, so we kind of understand everyone's struggle.
Yeah.
But we will have a whole episode of just DNFs or books that we wish we DNF'd. And to go with that, the next one after that is DNR, which is Do Not Read. It's a list of books that you won't read, series that you won't read, or even sometimes authors that you won't read. I know personally I have like Anna Hung, Emily McIntyre. They just,
Lucy Score.
They just have not done it for us. Yeah. I know, like Lucy Score, we read 3 of her books, the Knock 'Em Out series. Knocked us out.
Yeah, they knocked me out. Yeah, literally.
It was just like, what the fuck? Yeah. You got a bunch of 40-year-olds acting like 20-year-olds.
Yeah, they were way too long. All the stories were exactly the same. Yeah. It did not need to be like that long for what the stories were. Right. It was just, none of it was vibing.
The one I was the most interested in was the last one where they really hated each other.
Yeah.
And then like you get to it and it's like, why do you guys actually hate each other? Yeah. I'm so confused.
Right. I was like, oh, it's going to be something different. And then it just wasn't
the same.
Yeah.
And then the first one was really good. It was so interesting. And we like sped through the first one. So when we finally got to the second one, I'm like,
why is this the same exact book?
It's literally just the same book except this girl. It's the brother and then this random ass girl.
Yeah.
Who just got here.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It was just weird.
The next one is capital D and then lowercase s, and that's sexual scenes or relationships involving dom and subs. So it's a form of BDSM relationship.
I love me a little dom and sub action. I ain't gonna lie. Okay.
Praise is really good for that. Love that one.
Ooh, the Wicked Villains that I read, the Katie Robert ones that I read.
Yeah.
The Jafar Jasmine relationship is very much like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I love Jafar, but like I will fuck the shit out of Jafar.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but like the villain shouldn't get the girl, but in that whole series and those scenarios, you could have me 5 ways till Sunday. I ain't gonna lie.
I know. I love, like, when you read Delicious Players Club 2, I love the way that it started with Emmett, because he's a dom in that book.
Yeah.
And then, oh, it's so good. And there's another one later on where it's a female dom.
Yeah.
So that's another one.
I'm looking forward to reading them. We're just waiting for the last new covers to come out, the discrete covers.
Yeah.
And we both pre-ordered, so we're super excited as soon as they come out and we come back from vacation, because that's going to be the important part, because we'll be on vacation when they come.
Yeah.
As soon as we come back from vacation, those are the first things we're picking up.
Yeah.
There will be no more fucking around.
Ready to eat that series up again.
There will be no more fucking around.
Absolutely.
The next two kind of go together. It's ETL and FTL, which just stands for enemies to lovers and friends to lovers. I'm really into the enemies to lovers. I love that hate turn into pure, like, lust turn into pure love. I love them.
Yeah. Ooh. It is a nice, like, development in the story.
I love it, because it's just like you're kind of sitting there the whole time just like, okay, y'all love each other. Right. This hate is some bullshit.
Right.
Which kind of concerned me with the Knock 'Em Out series. I love the enemies to lovers. That's what they were. They were enemies to lovers.
Right.
Well, they were lovers to enemies to lovers. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's too much. If I can't explain it to you and we just read it recently, then I can't read it ever again. But I love enemies to lovers. I don't really care for the friends to lovers. It's kind of like boring, cutesy. Yeah. That's kind of like the stuff you say for children.
Yeah.
I want them. I would rather rip you to shreds than touch you, kind of like romance, kind of steam. I love that kind of stuff. I don't know if that makes me a little crazy and a little toxic, but I love that kind of stuff.
Valid. The next one is fated mates, and that's when two characters are destined to be together. So fated mates is normally seen in like paranormal, fantasy, those types of genres. But I feel like it's like a level above a soulmate. Yeah. Like there's soulmates and then there's fated mates. Yeah. So
like I can think that my husband is my soulmate.
Yeah.
But the fucking world told me that he's my soulmate. He's my mate. This is mine forever. Mm-hmm. I love fated mates. My favorite one so far that we've read is always gonna be Ryson and Fairy.
Oh, always, yeah, always.
I don't understand the hate that they get, and now that we're reading it the second time or listening to it, it's even better.
I know.
I'm not really excited for Echosaph still because I just can't stand Nessa as a character. Yeah, because she's a bitch. But I love them.
I'm hoping the audio helps us, but I don't know. I'm nervous.
And we have the dramatic version too. Yeah. So I'm kind of hoping that will like help us out. But I'm like, who cares? Yeah. Cassian deserves better.
He deserves me, that's why.
If you're Team Cassian, let us know in the comments. We're gonna put a poll. Team Cassian or Team Azriel. Yeah. Or you can put other. Or if you're like a Lucian or like
a Ryson.
Some people,
so many people are Bryson, and I'm just like, how? Come on now.
He's daddy, but like he's not daddy. Right.
He's daddy, but he's daddy for Fairy.
Yeah, like, I need like Azriel. Yeah. Some people even like Eric,
Lucian's brother.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, I mean, I get that. Like, I like toxic people.
I was gonna say that's like the toxicity pulling through.
Yeah, yeah. Like, do you not know what he's done to more, baby? Like,
I know.
Please, the trauma. Yeah. The next term is grovel, and I love me a grovel scene. It's a grand gesture called for when a character, often the hero, has done something very bad to their love interest and needs to make it up. Yeah. I love me some groveling.
I do.
Get on your knees and beg. Oh my god. I'm sorry. At this point, you guys should know that I just have problems, okay? But like,
that's so valid.
I love me a grovel moment. Like, fuck that. For a man to understand that they fucked up and to fucking beg for you back to do this grand gesture,
I want it.
I need it. Yeah. I need it. Yep. Okay? If you know me personally, I need it. Yeah. But my favorite grovel moment that we've read has to be in The Mistake. Yeah. That's book 2 of the Deal series. I think it's called The Mistake. I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
Yeah. By L. Kennedy.
Yeah. Logan! The moment he gets on the radio and tells everyone that he's in love with Grace.
I know.
And he'll do anything to make it right was amazing. I loved it. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I think their story was my favorite, honestly. Yeah.
Wasn't there like a list that she had after that for him to do? Yeah. Like the poems that he had to write?
Yes.
Amazing. I loved it. Yeah. Every moment of that book was just...
It was so good.
It was so cute, too. It's kind of one of those like cutesy ones that you're just like... There's steam, but there's not that much steam. There's spice, but there's not so much spice. And you're just like... I'll eat that up anyway. Yeah. It's so cute. It's my favorite one in that whole series.
The next one is Ashley's, another one of Ashley's favorites, Grumpy Sunshine, and that's a pairing of generally grumpy characters with a sweet, happy character.
And that's us. I'm not gonna lie, okay, if you know me, I'm grumpy. I'm a little fucker. I'm a little asshole, but she's the sunshine to my grumpy. And it just works for us, okay? We both work together and like, they know if they want something nicely, they go ask her, and if they want me to be a douche, they'll come ask me. Yeah. If they want someone to yell at them, they'll definitely come ask me. But that's just our duo. Yeah, it just works for us.
It works.
The next one is HEA, which basically just stands for happily ever after. It's a fairy tale moment. The couple gets to live together forever, and they love each other, and they have kids or whatever their future holds for them. It's all cute. It's all nice. Yeah. I feel like, you know what? Any other alternative just doesn't matter.
I know. There's a book or a series, I think it's called the Dash series, and it's by Chantal Tessier, the same lady who did the Lord series. And I've seen online that it doesn't have a happily ever after, and it's like soul crushing, and I'm like, I just like don't think I can do it. Yeah. I love her, like I love the Lord series, but something about not knowing there's not a happily ever after. I'm like,
no, I couldn't do that either. I couldn't sit there and put myself through like torture of a book, especially hundreds and hundreds of pages, for me not to be happy at that. For me to just sit there and be like imagine like the 1,000 boy kisses didn't give you the epilogue.
Right.
She's just spoiler. She's just dead, and he just has to live his life.
Right. Yeah.
No, I don't fucking know.
Well, that's also kind of how I feel after I read the spoiler for Flock.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like,
bruh, I love him.
Right. Like
we haven't even read it yet, but we already know.
I already know the spoiler, and the other thing too is once I heard the spoiler, I'm like, I don't really want to proceed.
It's not worth it.
Like,
I'm good. For me, I'm a serious whore, and I have to finish them all. But like,
for me, I'm like, it's not worth the trauma.
I know. I'm gonna be so traumatized. It's And then like the last one's called The Last Rainy Day or something like that. If that's even more emotional, I'm just gonna throw the whole series out. I'm throwing them in the garbage.
That's what I heard.
Oh boy.
Yeah. The next one is Insta Love, and that's when one or both love interests immediately falls for the other without an emotional struggle. I love an Insta Love.
I do too.
I do.
They're cute. They're fun.
They're cute.
I just need some arguing.
Yeah.
Some bickering.
Yeah.
I'm toxic at this point. Just label it on my head. I just need some arguing. Some toxicity.
I feel that.
Insta Love is it's cute, it's just boring.
Oh wait, I think I was thinking of the next term. That's probably why.
I love that one.
I love that one.
The next one is Insta Lust.
That's
and it's
the one.
when one or both love interests wants in the other's pants from the first meeting. They have an emotional connection sometimes. It like takes a little bit longer to get through, but
that's the one.
The steam, the steam, the dirt, the fucking filth.
Yeah,
Ooh,
one of my favorites so far is Miss Sin with John and Nora, when Nora just sees him like choking someone out through the glass door, and she's just like, Daddy, yes. And I was like, feel that.
Yeah. They see each other at a party, and he's just like, yeah, you need some help with a box in the closet over there?
Yeah.
Banging. Just, okay.
I was like, oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, they ended up together, but it's just like,
yeah.
Fuck.
But I love, that's the thing, like, sometimes I just don't even want the build-up. I'm just like, do it.
You can build me up later.
Right, exactly.
The scenes will get there. It will get to where we need to go.
Exactly.
But damn, I love me some Insta Lust too. They're so good. So spicy.
Yeah. The next one is Mary Sue, and that's a character who is too perfect or too good.
This was also a new term that we just learned.
Yeah.
I don't personally remember reading a Mary Sue character.
Yeah. The only one I ever think of is like The Last Letter with Ella.
Yeah.
Because she just is so, I feel so bad for her. She's just going through it.
She just goes through it.
And she just keeps granted she has a struggle emotionally, but obviously who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But I feel like she definitely is a Mary Sue.
Maybe if I'm thinking of just The Last Letter, I would think more of her kids.
Yeah, that too.
Especially Cole.
Yes. Right, exactly. They're so just pure.
Yeah. And Cole was just so freaking pure. So pure. Stinking cute.
Yeah. So pure.
Rip. I loved him.
Spoiler.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I put a disclaimer in the beginning of the video. Proceed at your own risk. The next two kind of go together. So the old version is capital H, lowercase h, and in this type it just means hero and heroine, and hero of course is the guy and heroine of course is the girl. But now we've got a little upgrade because females can be main characters.
We love equality.
Yes. So now main characters are just MC, and then female main characters is FMC, and male main characters are MMC. There's no more you're like the big honcho and you're the man. No,
right.
Everyone's on an equal playing field now.
I know. I like that so much better.
So much better. When they used to go on Facebook groups and I would see capital H, little h, I'm like,
yeah,
I'm no longer interested.
Girl.
Fuck that. I love me a female badass.
Yeah.
Like Fairy.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
and Aileen. I
Yeah,
love them.
we love
female
it.
badasses.
Mm-hmm.
Katniss Everdeen and Miss Sin over here.
The next one is meet cute, and that's the unlikely circumstances under which romantic protagonists initially meet. So
meet cutes are amazing.
I love them.
They're so stinking cute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't like really put my. You know what? I'm gonna again Fairy and Ryson. My favorite meet cute.
Yeah.
He was just like, "Hello, Fairy darling."
Yeah, that is adorable. Yeah.
The sound that's on TikTok from Fairy with him saying that. Chokehold.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear that, I'm like,
literally.
He can do bad things to me too.
Yeah, I think my favorites are That One Night, which is like the novella prequel to Pucking Around.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one. That one. Whew.
I wouldn't say meet cute, maybe meet steam.
Meet steam. Meet Insta.
Yeah. Meet spice.
Yeah, meet spice. Exactly. And then the other one is Mr. Sin.
Yeah.
With Sasha and Vincent.
Oh, in Vegas.
In Vegas.
He was just like yeah. I don't know what it is about Ashley's characters choking people out, but you know.
Yeah. That's true. I actually didn't even think about that.
They just be like, fuck out of here. Fucking up my face with that shit.
I love it.
Yeah. We're just sitting here like, hi.
Yo.
Oh, the next group also goes together. And it's kind of like a little group. It's like terms and acronyms that define relationships. So there's the basic MF or MM or FF, just depending on what you like. Where it's male female, and then this is when it starts to get really important with like the placement of some of the letters. So if there's an MFM where the F is in the middle of the two M's, it's a relationship between a man and a female and another man, but the men don't like do anything.
Interact, yeah.
They don't
romantically.
They don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then if it's MMF where the F is on the side, they do interact. So if you're not into any of that interacting stuff, so sorry for the hand gestures,
right?
You know, kind of just avoid the MMFs, and if you kind of do like that kind of stuff, the F just could be anywhere, or it could just be non-existent depending on what you like.
The next one is OOP, which is out of print.
I love me some out of print books.
I know.
I have a lot of I like recently just went into like a kick for buying out of print books.
Yeah.
I have all of the Maze Runner runs.
Yep.
All of the Percy Jackson ones, the original covers. Yeah. I have all of ACOTAR.
Right.
All of the Throne of Glass. Thank God we got them beforehand. And I have just bought all of the Cinder ones. Oh, and Shadow and Bone ones that were like before the new covers came out.
The Cinder ones are so cute.
They're so stinking cute.
I love the new ones too.
They are like so stinking cute.
Inside flap, but the old ones are also really cute.
The only one I don't really care for is Ferris, and it's literally because it's
like the same.
It's literally the same, just one's black and one's orange.
Yeah.
Or like a pinkish orange kind of color.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did buy it, of course, because I wanted it. I wanted the full set. But I went into a kick of my OOPs and no regrets.
Yeah.
I love them. They sit on my shelf. I have just this one shelf for my OOPs now.
Yeah.
They're so cute. They're so cute. Oh my god. If you got any OOPs you want to send our way, we love OOPs.
Exactly.
Over here.
Yep.
I got like the same Percy Jackson was like 6 times.
Do not send this girl anymore, Percy. She has the Percy Jackson series like 6 times over. 5? Okay.
5, but that's only because I haven't bought the new covers yet.
Hence why I thought it was 6.
They're hideous. I'm not gonna get them sometime soon. I'll wait it out. The next term is over the top, or OOTT. It just means that mostly male characters are just over the top. They're bravado. They want to show off. They want everyone to know who the head honcho is, who the man in charge is. But let's be honest, I need some OTT, over the top females. I want an HBIC in this motherfucker.
I know.
Like Fairy, she's not HBIC material. Yeah, it's definitely her daddy.
Yeah,
and then Selena is HBIC material sometimes.
Yeah.
It's the fucking boohooing that she be doing that pisses
It's
me
the
off.
boohooing, and then it's like I'm the world's greatest assassin,
And then gets beat
up.
up.
And I was like, girl, what are you
pissing me
doing?
off. Oh
Like,
my goodness.
Stand the fucking ground.
Literally, Rowan was like, shoo.
Yeah.
I sneezed on you.
Boof.
You died. Yeah.
Like, what the
Lay down.
hell?
Lay down, girl. It's just
Crazy.
ridiculous.
Crazy.
But we'll have a whole episode on that for you guys soon.
Yeah. The next two go together. So we have OMYW, which is older man, younger woman. And then OWYM, which is older woman, younger man. So essentially age gap, just different ways to put it for that.
I mean, I'm definitely into the older man, younger woman.
I know. I love being age gap.
I know. Oh my
That's
goodness.
probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, like, responsible, respectable age gaps.
Yeah. Sorry.
But, yeah.
But, like, whew.
Yeah, I do love him.
Whew.
Mm-hmm.
The Men of the Sin series, the Men of the Alliance. I'm not saying I'm crazy. I mean, Ryson is 500 years old and Fairy's 19.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But they're mates, so
like
forgive us.
Daddy Axel and Latte Darling.
Yeah.
Woo. Maddie's like 30 and he is a silver fox and I love it.
Ugh.
I love it. I want it all.
SJ, baby, you just know what you're doing, okay?
Yeah.
You're
she
good.
knows how to write them.
You're good. We love you here. The next two also kind of go together, and it's just kind of like basic information. PB is paperback, HC, hardcover.
Yep.
The hardcover is the hard book, and the
cannot-
paperback one is your paperback.
Congratulations.
That was so sassy of you.
The next one is POV, which is very important. You see this one a lot. Point of view. So that's the perspective in which the book is told. So you have first person or first POV, third POV, and then dual POV. So dual is normally like, a lot of times if it's like romance and stuff like that, you'll have the male and the female point of views. And that's my favorite.
Yeah. I will say, like, Ashley Tilley's books are so freaking good, but sometimes, man, you just need more male chapters.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I just need some more male
chapters. Yeah, because, like, I want to know what the guy is, like,
I know.
You know, thinking, feeling, going through. Like,
I fell in love with Angelo and he had, like, 8 chapters, okay?
I know.
Imagine if he had half a book.
If Angelo had his own book, I would still read that.
If Angelo had his own book, I would call SJ Tilley, ask her to find me one, so he can kidnap me and take me too, okay?
Yeah. Yep.
I love him. The next two, wow, everything is just going together right now.
Yeah.
Also go together, and these are kind of like very important.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is PWOP, and that's porn without plot.
Yep.
And the other one is PWP, and it's porn with plot. So it pretty just much means that its story has smut, it's plot and porn.
Yeah.
If it's just pretty much sex after sex after sex after sex.
Yeah.
It's porn without plot or plot without porn or whatever. You guys understand. You know what I'm saying.
Yep.
So yeah. I don't know which one my favorite is because I love me a good story.
I know. I feel like for that it depends on the mood I'm in.
Yeah.
Like if I just am like I just want to read something like downright smutty, like
quick,
I don't care
easy,
what's going on between the characters besides the smut, then I'm going for that type of book. But if I want something like a little bit more like relationship development and that type of stuff or something happening, then I go for the plot more.
Yeah.
But,
so I wouldn't know which one my favorite is, but it definitely is a mood kind of thing.
Yeah, it's more like a mood thing. So the next two are RH, which stands for reverse harem, and then Why Choose. And that basically means that it's a romance between one female main character, and multiple partners. So normally more than 3.
I love me a Why Choose.
Yeah. And
Why
I mean,
choose?
I was going to say, it's, pretty much speaks for itself.
Why
choose when I
could have them all?
Yeah.
I can take some from here, get some from over there, maybe get some from over there.
Yeah. Pucking around was a good one of that. I just wish it wasn't so long.
Yeah, sorry authors, but like if your book is more than like 400 pages, you're doing something wrong.
Like I do not need a 700-page Why Choose. I don't need it.
You're doing something wrong. And then, I'm sorry SJM, but you have 8 books to throw in a glass and half of them are this big.
Yeah.
Half of them are past 500 pages.
Yeah.
That's just too many pages. And you got a tandem reader.
Yeah.
That's 1,100 pages we gotta read at the same time.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather just like you make it shorter books and longer, but also it's like I can guarantee when we start reading those, it's gonna be like this did not need to be like this.
And it feels like she kind of like tries to build the world too much, and then you're still confused anyway.
Yeah,
I'm so lost still because we had to take a break because I was so lost.
The break was a good choice.
Yeah, we're at the towering right now.
Yeah,
amazing. The next few also kind of go together, but we'll bounce back and forth. The first one is sweet romance, and it's a feel-good romance without sex, probably not even behind closed doors. You know, they'll kiss, they'll hold hands, kind of like for the younger audience, the sweet, cute audience, if that's what you want. That's kind of what you're kind of looking for, a sweet romance.
Yeah.
And then the next one that goes to that is clean romance, and it's a romance which doesn't include sex or swearing, may include closed door sex or no more than kissing depending on the interpretation. Yeah. So a little step up. Nothing too crazy. Just depends on where your brain is at. That's all.
Yeah, like no descriptors are really going into that one. The next one is slow burn, and that's a relationship which takes a while to get going. If the couple hasn't kissed by the halfway mark but are burning up the sheets in the end, then that's normally a slow burn.
I hate those.
Yeah. I don't like it.
You can slow burn me for about 10 to 20% of the book. Right. After that, I'm just upset.
If I see like 50% on my Kindle and you still haven't got it going, like, what are you doing?
We haven't even given like no touching.
Right.
Why?
Exactly.
All you guys have done is heavy making out. Like,
yeah,
that's not enough. I'm so sorry, but
I forget which one it was. I think it was the first one of the series by Elle Kennedy. One of them, like, she took so long for them to...
The deal. It's probably the deal.
Right?
Because Dean and Allie were doing it in the beginning.
Yeah, they started, like...
Grace and Tucker were, like, hanging out, but they were, like, also doing it in the beginning. Grace and Hannah, so sorry. Grace and Logan. Yeah. Oh my God, I just was putting Grace with everybody, so sorry, Grace.
Yeah.
And then Sabrina and Tucker were, so it had to be the first
Hannah
one.
and Garrett, yeah.
They took, well, it was because the deal. It was a deal.
It was a deal.
A deal was a deal is a deal. It was still cute, though.
Yeah, it was cute.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it just does not.
To go with a slow burn is also the acronym of UST, which is unresolved sexual tension. So, same thing. Don't really enjoy
Don't leave me like that. Don't leave me like that.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That's like blue balls.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Blue balls.
Yeah.
If a book gives me blue balls or the woman version of blue balls, we have beef. We are fighting. I will now have to go find some fan fiction to help me through whatever you just put me through. It's not fun. That's terrible.
I feel that.
And to go with all my unresolved sexual tension is spice. It just means romance books with sex on the pages. That is what I am signing up for. Don't fucking egg me on. That is what I'm signing up for. Even if it's one scene. One scene.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Okay? Not terrible. Don't give me terrible. Just one scene. Okay? Okay? Don't give me they never did it at the end. Because then I feel bad for them. And then I feel bad for myself for reading it.
Valid.
And then to go with that, depending on, how you like it, there's spice levels. So you've got one chili where it's like they do it, but it's kind of tame, like missionary, kind of boring. Yeah. Or there's 5 chilies where there's like additional people, there's BDSM, there's toys, there's all that stuff. And I'm a 5 chili kind of girl.
Yeah, we love it. We love to see the 5 chilies.
We love it. I just read this novella, I think it's called Puck Shy, where it's like a celebrity, secret sex mansion. Yeah. And like you have to sign an NDA in the beginning and all of that stuff. Oh. And there was like voyeurism and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And, they got to do it in front of people. And I was just sitting there like, I didn't know I was into this. But now I definitely do. That's weird.
You are definitely going to love the Social Players Club then.
I don't know. I was
literally the second book. The second book, the guy is a voyeur and the girl is like a cam girl, like an OF girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the dynamic. And they're like step sibling, like not even close to being related at all. Like I think. But yeah, so You would love that one.
So yeah, we're more of like a 5 chili kind of girls, and we definitely love the books that break those scales. There are sometimes where authors or people rate them and they're like 7.5 chilies out of 5, and I'm just like, I don't know what this book is about, but this is going on my TBR. It's going on my list. It is going for my emergency book list.
Yeah. The Lord series by Chantal Tessier, I literally questioned things about myself after that. I was like,
yeah, there are some books where
what
I'm
is
just like,
wrong with me? But that was so hot.
Yeah, there are some books that got me like, am I okay?
Yeah.
Do I need to see a psychologist?
Right. Like, I was just like, okay. Yes. So the next one is very important. It's TBR, and that's to be read, and that's a stack, a pile, a mountain in our case.
A mountain.
Of books that we want to read.
My TBR currently is sitting at 1,500 books.
Yeah, I think
it's more than the amount of books I own.
Mine has definitely hit 1,000. Yeah, for sure.
I have thousands of screenshots I still need to add to this damn TBR.
Yeah,
I literally just updated it. We just updated it for an episode, and then have more now that I need to now add to this list. It's ridiculous. We'll probably have to do it for the end of the year. This will be an episode for the end of the year.
Yeah, for me, I gotta go through and like see which ones are series, because sometimes I'll find books that I want to read, but then I find out they're like the second, the third, the fourth book.
Yeah, and that sucks because you know not every book in a series is good, especially if they're standalones that are connected. So it's just like,
yeah, we're putting work into our TBRs though, so
it will be one very extensive episode.
Yeah,
extensive, like
extensive.
Grab some snacks, extensive. The next one is trope, and it is a story element often repeated within a genre. So age gap, BDSM, these are tropes.
Yeah,
things that people
we're gonna go through a whole bunch of them with you.
Well, you know, it's just it's like a subgenre's baby. Yeah, it's a subgenre. There's genre, subgenre, and trope. Yeah, it's a subgenre's baby.
So then the next terms we're going to get into, how we get our books, how we learn about our books, all that type of stuff. So there's KU, which is Kindle Unlimited. And you can get the app on your phone. If you have a Kindle, you can use it, and you can just read books. They have, I honestly want to say, hundreds of thousands of free books on there.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, you pay like $12 a month. I mean, that's the cost of like a cheap paperback. And you get I've read hundreds of books on KU.
Yeah.
And
we spend a lot of time on there.
Yeah, you can highlight, you can see like how many minutes left in the chapter.
I love that
feature. The percentage of the book.
Yeah.
I love all those features. 10 out of 10 recommend.
And they even have like some free audiobooks too sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you can listen and read at the same time. Yeah. Sometimes they have free audios.
And the audio selection, you know, isn't obviously as big as like just the free books, but
yeah.
I mean, they're there.
They're there. Yeah.
They're there. Depends on what you're into.
Yeah, and then leading into audiobooks. So we use Audible. Audible, you get 1 credit a month. And it's like $16. Honestly, I feel like KU is definitely way better of a deal. Audible, I mean, I like it. I like being able to listen to books, but I feel like you should get more than one book for $16.
I understand, like, the credit, you usually want to put it towards, like,
a book that's more, expensive than the actual membership for the month.
Right, but, like, 1 credit for $16 is kind of ridiculous. And yeah, Audible does have like a bunch of free books, but a lot of the time there are a bunch of books that no one really wants to read.
I know, because I got Audible. There was a deal going on where I got like 3 months for $1 a month.
Yeah,
and I actually think that's almost up. But I was like, okay, that's worth it. But like, even you know, I just feel like 16's a lot.
It's just a lot for an audio.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, there are some good ones, like I was just saying. Like, I'm reading Lord of the Rings right now, or listening to Lord of the Rings right now, the first one, for free. And it's a 20-hour audio, which is crazy. I have to speed that up.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, for a credit, I usually spend my credits on books that I'm reading in series, like, so that way I can get them over with. So, like, I spent mine on The Fate of 10 this month.
Yeah.
And I haven't even listened to it yet.
Yeah.
And it's on my list for the month, but for $16, I feel like I could have got something else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm listening to For the Fans right now on Audible, and I used my credit for that. But for some reason, the paperback of that book was like over $20.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad about using it on that one. But a lot of the times, I'm like, do I really want to spend my credit here?
I think for me, it's more like if you buy the paperback, every paperback or book that you ever buy should have a scanned QR code that you can go and buy, or go directly to Audible or an app that does the audiobooks.
Yeah.
And it's free, or you only have to pay like an additional $1.
Yeah.
So like if you got the paperback, you would have to pay for like the difference between paperback to hardcover.
Yeah.
Or if you got hardcover, it's an additional $1.
Yeah.
I feel like you shouldn't have to buy the paperback. I mean, yeah, granted, they think you're gonna read the paperback, but like I'm a collector. I have 1,000 books.
Yeah.
It should just be all together.
Mm-hmm.
Add an additional $2 to the price already, and give me the damn QR code. I will scan that. It's fine. I will pay those $2 for that. It all will even out.
Yeah, I feel that.
Just ridiculous.
And then the last one that kind of goes along with the apps is Goodreads. And that's a website that we love. We swear by. You can look up books on it, and it will take you to the book's page. It will give you the synopsis. It will give you the tags like genres, tropes. You can click on it and see what other books are in the series. You can click on the author, see what other books they have. Reviews. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah, it's literally all there. It even tells you like if it's on KU.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do you know that? I barely know that. I'm barely keeping it together in my head. But this app is literally the website. It does everything.
I know. I love it.
And I've even like discovered so many times like the order of books that I'm supposed to read a series in. Like Ice Planet Barbarian.
Yeah.
If I would have read the whole series and only like just then realized that there was a whole novella for it, I would have been so upset.
Right.
And then there's also like where we do eventually take our screenshots from our TBR list and we go to put it on our TBR. This is how we find out that things are series. Because it's literally sub-connected. And right above the title, it tells you what the series is called.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's one of my favorite things to use.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have a TBR list without that thing.
I know.
Some other emotional terms that we're going to get into is the feels. This means that you were overwhelmed with emotion when reading the book, often meaning that lots of different emotions were involved. If it made your tummy tingle, it gave you the butterflies, you got your little feet and they're kicking around. It made you want to cry, it made you want to scream, it made you want to hurt people.
Yeah.
That is an emotional roller coaster, but that is the feels.
Yeah.
If a book is given like you say that you've gotten the feels from a book, that's like such a high praise for a book. I mean, the only one I feel like I've ever gotten like the full roller coaster circle of life is literally The Last Letter.
Absolutely.
Wrecked me.
Absolutely. I read that in like the paperback, and when I tell you, my pages were like wet.
Yeah.
Like,
I couldn't.
My tears were flowing so many times during that book.
I was sobbing. Tears were streaming.
Sobbing.
Snot was running. I was just like,
okay. We were texting each other like, oh my god, I'm crying. Like, it was uncontrollable. Yeah.
The next two also kind of go together. It's book hangover. When a book leaves you emotionally drained, often this leads to the reader not being able to jump right into another book, and also sometimes leads to a reading slump, which means feeling uninspired to read, or sometimes just a slump where you read a string of underwhelming books. We've definitely gone through our own reading slumps. We definitely hit them usually in February.
Yeah.
We do so great in January, and then February rolls around and we're just like, We always read some like garbage or some emotionally distressing things.
Yeah.
And January, like at the end of January and the beginning of February, that just halts our whole progress.
I know. Last year in February, I read one book.
Yeah, I did too.
One book.
Yeah.
And it was The Sinner by Chantal Tessier. I read that whole series out of order, the Lord series. I read The Sinner first, then went to The Ritual, which is the first book, then went to The Sacrifice, which is the third.
Yeah.
But I read The Sinner, and it was a lot. It was heavy. It was amazing, but it was heavy, and it put me right into a slump.
Yeah. I actually read the last Percy Jackson book, and I read that whole thing, and I was just like, but now what?
Yeah.
I gotta read the next series, but no, this is not okay. Like, all of the deaths that happened in that last one, I was just like, okay. And it starts from the beginning of the book, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't need the trauma. Like, I grew up with these characters, so I'm just like, okay, fuck my life then.
So next we're gonna get into some genres and subgenres. So the first genres we have are contemporary romance, which is a romance that's set in post 1950, and then historical romance, which is something that's set pre 1950s.
I don't ever really consider anything contemporary romance. I mean, I understand historical romance pre 1950.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna be
just
out
call
here.
it romance.
Yeah, calling everything contemporary romance. It makes no sense.
I know.
Just romance.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next two kind of go together. There's dark, and then there's smut. So dark is morally and legally ambiguous scenes and characters or taboo topics. Examples: abuse, non-con, NC or non-consensual. Yeah. And then smut or erotica is just downright filth, okay? Just downright dirty. We love us some smut. We love us some dark.
I love dark. Dark's like probably my favorite. It's my favorite genre. Like it's bad to say, but it's my favorite genre.
It's up there for me. I don't know if it's my favorite, and I think it's just because I haven't read it as nearly as many as you have. I think I'm still in my sci-fi fantasy era.
Yeah. I think it was because when I got back into reading, like the first book that I read that was like real smut and stuff like that was The Sinner. Yeah. And it was so dark that it was again like I'm kind of questioning things about myself because that was so good. And then it just like created the spiral. Yeah. So we can blame her for that.
I don't really know. I don't know. I don't think I've even had like anything that's super like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That whole series is pretty out of pocket.
I do love me some smut though.
Yeah, I do love me some smut. Smut, my first one going back into that was like Tangled in Tinsel and Praise.
Amelia Rose, her werewolf books. Yeah. They be getting me fucked up, okay? The twin alpha ones. I'm gonna have to read that again.
Yeah. I know, I need to read that.
I have to read it again. Oh my god. Amelia Rose, heart for you.
I gotta read her. I never have.
They're so good. I found her on Wattpad, so that says a lot.
Yeah.
That says a lot. If you know what Wattpad is, you know what that is.
Yeah. The next one is fantasy, and that's a romance that takes place in an alternate universe with an overarching plot line of a quest and a secondary plot of romance, often with magical or supernatural elements.
I'm still in my fantasy era.
I do love a good fantasy too.
My bookshelf literally is half fantasy, and then there's like this 2 little columns for romance and 1 little column for other. I'm in my fantasy era. I think I'm gonna stay there forever, but I love me some fantasy.
Mine's like a few fantasy shelves, a few like a romance shelf in there, and then
all of the other things.
Yeah.
The next one is my personal favorite. This one gets me all the way fucked up. It's mafia. It's a general term to cover romance that takes place within an organized crime unit, including but not limited to Italian, Irish, Russian bratva, and all of those other things. I read this one Mexican cartel one where she was sold off, and I was just like,
I feel like I don't see a lot of Mexican cartel ones.
I know, but like an interesting one. Those are good. You usually really see like Russian, Italian, Chicago.
Yeah,
everyone's in Chicago.
I'm pretty sure it was a Russian, and if I'm thinking of it correctly, or mafia. I'm not entirely sure. I read it last year, but it was called The Cruel Promise and Cruel Paradise. Yeah. And it's by Nicole Fox. And those books were so good.
I'm gonna have to read those.
So good. And the covers are beautiful.
I know, but I love me some freaking mafia. Like, trade me for money. Yeah. And now I'm your wife.
The whole Alliance series.
Yeah. I love me some mafia. I'll get down with some mafia.
So the next few we're gonna talk about are the differentials between like paranormal romances. Yeah. So paranormal romance is anything with paranormal, fantasy, sci-fi settings. Paranormal specifically usually refers to werewolf, shifters, and vampires. Clearly we love those.
We do. I'm a vampire girly. I mean, I also love my werewolves. I don't really like... I would be a vampire in real life. I would do that.
The Hot Vampire Next Door by Nikki St. Croix did something to me. I
Grand
love that book.
Grand Devil.
Just waiting for the next book, the last book.
Yeah, because the last one is like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Drop it, baby.
It left us on a cliffhanger.
I love me some shifters
Yeah.
in general. A subgenre to that is monster. It's a romance occurring between a non-human character and a human character, such as orcs, demons, krakens, etc. I know that we have The Dragon's Bride on our TBR sometime soon. We're waiting for the last one to drop. She literally released book 5 and was like, haha, you thought I was done? Haha. No. So we're waiting now for the 6th one to come out, and I did read the first one last year, and then I was just like,
yeah,
we need to read them together because, oh my god.
I know. I saw something recently on Facebook about The Dragon's Bride, and I was like,
yeah.
What?
He's got 2.
That's what it was. That's what it was that I was reading. I was like, yeah. I'm sorry, what? Come again.
Yeah. I was just like, ooh.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, am I okay?
I had no idea.
That book was like, made me question some things about myself. I was just like,
I know it's gonna be interesting when we read
I'm not
it.
saying I have problems, but like, if a dragon took me to his universe, then it took me to his universe. It took me to this dimensional plane. All right.
So the next one under like the paranormal umbrella is Omegaverse, and that's a fictional universe where characters have secondary gender known as alpha, beta, omega, so on and so forth. So alpha is a character who is a natural leader and is generally like the physically strongest, the most animalistic, the leader,
the most daddy-ish.
Sometimes can be an alpha hole, which is another term, and that's alpha hero who has crossed the line into some toxic masculinity.
I love me an alpha hole.
The alpha holes are a vibe. We love them. The pairing to the alpha is a beta, and that's a character outside of the dynamic of the alpha, but a supporting character, sidekick to the alpha, second in command, those sorts of things.
I love me a beta too. Like Ty to John and Missing.
Yes.
Ooh, that one chapter where Ty is just like, oh, I'm sorry. What is it with SJ and the choking of the I don't know what it is with her characters and just choking people out, but the way that they choke people out is you're just like,
because the way she just like paints the picture, like you just feel like you're there, and
you're just like right here,
yeah,
right here, put it right here, right, put it right there.
John, I want that necklace.
Yeah,
from the Sin.
It's tattooed too. Nice, got a design. Woo! The next one is science fictions or sci-fi. It's a romance that usually includes aliens, space travel. It doesn't really have to include romance. A lot of the time, the romance is very small.
Yeah.
But, you know, in that subgenre, there's also dystopian, where things go really, really wrong. And, like, the world we live in right now, like in Maze Runner or Hunger Games or something like that. So, I love both of those. I'm a dystopian girly. I was here for the moment when the movies were all coming out with Divergent, Hunger Games, and Maze Runner. When those were all coming out, I was in the prime of my life. I was living it. It was amazing. And now we don't do that anymore. I don't know what happened, but we need to get back on that. Okay?
I know.
We need to get back on it.
Yeah. I don't see a lot of them.
We did one more Hunger Games just this recently, and it was not great.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
The next two, I'm going to put a disclaimer for first, and that's that you can read whatever you want, whatever age you want. Don't let no one tell you otherwise. But
don't let no silly ass label tell you what to
right, exactly. But if you do see these, this is how they differentiate them. So NA is considered new adult, and that's books that are geared towards readers in their early 20s or about characters in their early 20s. And then you have YA, which is young adult, and that's books targeted towards teenage readers or the main characters are teenagers.
I mean, I still read YA.
Yeah.
I still do. And I'm old enough not to.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you want to read that, then you read that. You just do what you want to do. Who cares?
I still read YA, and I'm barely even making it into the NA category.
Literally.
We do not care.
We don't. So don't care. Just read whatever you want. And if someone has any judgment, you can fuck off.
Exactly.
Now we're going to start getting into our little tropes. And then we'll be leaving you guys.
Yeah.
But the first trope is one of Miss Thang's favorites. It's an age gap. It means a significant amount of years between the ages of the main characters. You know, Daddy Axel from Latte Darling.
Oh my
All of
God.
S.J. Tilly's books pretty much have an age gap.
I know.
And we
Latte Darling needs to be talked about so much.
Yeah.
That book, that's the first book I read of S.J. Tilly's, and it just brought me into the rabbit hole, and I'm so happy it did.
Yeah.
But that book was, whew,
yeah, it was fire.
It was so good.
It was so good.
I read it and I was like, I immediately went to you and I was like, you need to read this. Like,
I don't know what you have on your list today, but this is what you're,
like,
what you're doing
this
today.
This needs to like go right to the top.
Yeah.
Like, abandon everything else.
She's actually going to be our author of the month. Yeah. Because obviously we can't shut the fuck up about her. Yeah. So
maybe if we do like a whole episode on her, we'll talk about her a little less, but not this big.
Like the world's smallest sliver, guys. Real smallest sliver.
The next trope we have is best friend's brother/sister, and that's a romance trope where the main character falls in love with their best friend's sibling.
The next one is billionaire, and it is when one character is significantly wealthier than the other. I mean, who doesn't want a billionaire? Like, the fuck?
That's another one of my favorites. Favorites.
The fucking wage of living right now, shit, I'd be with a billionaire too. Fuck out.
Exactly. Like, it just adds, it takes away that element of like needing to like pay for anything. You can go wherever, do whatever, get whatever. I love it.
Yeah.
The next one is bodyguard, and that's one character's job is to protect the other character. I love the concept of that.
I do too, but I feel like all male characters are kind of a bodyguard in their own way. They're always gonna put themselves in danger before they're women. So
I feel like I just liked the dynamic of Twisted Games where it was the
literal bodyguard.
Yeah, princess bodyguard. Like that's what
I'm
I
getting paid to be your bodyguard.
If it's a bodyguard romance, like I want it to be bodyguard, like the bodyguard. But that one was not done very well. So
the next one is celebrity, and pretty basic. It's when a main character is a celebrity.
Yeah,
they're famous. Mm-hmm. Whether in town or in real life, it's a fanfic about Harry Styles because we all know there's like 100 of those.
Yeah.
So, you know.
The next one is ones that we've already talked about, but enemies to lovers and friends to lovers are also considered tropes. So
the next two kind of also go together. It's fake relationship and marriage of convenience. So fake relationship is the main characters agree to enter a fake relationship for various reasons. And then marriage of convenience is when the characters must get married for a reason other than love. One of our favorites was the second book in the Fine Print series. Mm-hmm. That one was so stinking cute.
I know.
And I feel like if we just didn't read them at the same time, like back to back to back, we would have loved the series a lot more.
Yeah, I think maybe we have to I would try to give Lauren Asher another shot.
Try. Yeah, especially Throttled.
Yeah, I want to read Throttled so bad. So
yeah. We might have to add her. Not maybe this year, but maybe next year.
Next year, yeah. The next one is Fated Mates, and that one we talked about, but that's when the main characters are destined to be together. And then again, you also have soulmates.
Just not the same.
It's not the
There's
same.
levels to this shit, and this is the level.
Levels.
The next two, I guess, also kind of go together, and they're captive when a character holds another character captive. And forced proximity, where the main characters are in a small space together, i.e. maybe a cabin during a snowstorm or on a boat in the ocean.
Love that one. Still beating.
Daddy.
Yeah. Love Still Beating. They get kidnapped together.
I know. It's on my TBR. She won't shut the hell up about it.
It's so good. It's so good. I have not steered you wrong, okay?
Not once. Not once.
The next one is Forbidden Love, and that's when two people are in love but are prevented from being together due to external circumstances.
I maybe Twisted Games is their Forbidden Love.
Yeah.
And I can maybe only think of just that one.
Yeah.
Or maybe even Twisted Love too, because they weren't meant to be together because the brothers told him no.
Oh, yeah.
Josh was like, hell no, that's my sister. Fuck out of here.
Well, then also at the end, spoiler, when she finds out that the whole reason why he was even getting close to them was because for the dad and stuff. So that wasn't really forbidden, but maybe secret.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The next damn it, two go together too. And it is hurt/comfort, where one of the main characters are physically or emotionally hurt and receive comfort and support from the other main characters. And or my favorite, Grumpy Sunshine, that we talked about earlier, where one character has a happy, pleasant, bubbly personality and the other one is kind of an asshole, like me. Kind of gruff, kind of mean.
The next one is holiday romance, and that's novels set around a holiday. I love Christmas ones.
Yeah.
I love Christmas. I read Tangled in Tinsel, 10 out of 10. It's a Why Choose. I read The Naughty List by Jade West. Proceed with caution or not at all. Honestly, it was a little
crazy.
It was a little crazy. There were some things where I was like, huh? That's coming from me, so
yeah, this is a lot. The only one I've read or two that I've read are Trick Shot and Puck Shot or Puck Shy by Kaylee Grossi, or Gross. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm sorry. One's Christmas and one's Valentine's.
Got you.
And they're good. They're so good.
Trick Shot was the one with the plus size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both of them.
Yeah.
They're sisters.
Both... Oh, okay.
The two girls are sisters.
Got you. Okay.
And then two of the guys are sisters. So they end up with twins. Read it for yourself. Figure it out. I'm bad at explaining things. The next one is Only One Bed, and it is when they're forced proximity scene in which two characters need to share a bed.
And then the last one is Second Chance, and that's a romance in which the main characters are former lovers who reconnect after a breakup or separation. And we had a really good one of those that we will talk about in our May wrap up, because I loved that book.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it wasn't, like the other one we read from her, but it was good. And then the only one I can think of that's also like that is 1,000 Boy Kisses.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
it wasn't as gut-wrenching as we were promised, but it was still cute.
If you want to cry, like to the amount that people describe 1,000 Boy Kisses will make you cry, read the last letter instead.
Just skip that and read the last letter.
Yeah, not worth it.
Well, everybody, that's everything we had to discuss with you guys today on our acronyms, terms, and genres episode. Our next episode will be about Author of the Month, which we already kind of spoiled for you guys. Is going to be about S.J. Tilly. We're going to give, awards for our favorite book boyfriend, our favorite book, our favorite series. Shit, I don't know, even our favorite quote if we're getting down to it. And then we'll answer we'll ask and answer some of the questions that we have had her answer for us. But other than that, it's gonna be a nice little episode of awards and recommendations for S.J. Tilly.
I'm very excited.
I know, we love that girl.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Courtney and this is Ashley, and we're Book Bliss and Chicks, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.